tell me why a roadway that is made for train is now as a Galamsey site, about 3 kilometers condemned, all because of Galamsey. Today, I saw a video of a landlord giving his space or his house to Galamseyers, and just in that compound,
this very line was the same narrow gauge that was actually used by the Ghana Railway Company when it last hauled manganese from the Nsuta area where we've been transporting bauxite all the way to Takoradi Port. And today, if the railways decide to actually come back to haul manganese from Nsuta, this is a very line that they would actually have to use. But as we speak, it has very much been devastated by illegal small-scale miners who actually mine this area.
Chairman to me has a responsibility to prove to the entire country that he is not engaged in Galamsey. Because Akonta Mining, as we all know, is a licensed small-scale mining company. Is he engaged in Galamsey? They have always created an impression as if Chairman to me is the one doing Galamsey. So today, as Chairman to me is in court, do you know what the expectation of Ghanaians are? We shouldn't see Galamsey going on.
And so if he's been picked up today, he's been picked up to help in the investigations. And so it won't me being picked up today doesn't mean that Galamsey is going to stop.
Now with the elephants in the room, state of emergency.
When a state of emergency is declared, literally, our constitution is suspended, literally. A lot of the rights you enjoy, you can't move, you can't do this. But tell us why you need a state of emergency to be declared. The day they will advise the president to declare the state of emergency, he said he will not waste even a second to do that.
We have seen the National Anti-Galamsey Operations Secretariat having operations on the Galamsey site. I mean, they've arrested some of these Galamseyers and a whole lot. But guess what? Galamsey is troubling us in this country.
This is a river that will usually be used as a source of drinking water.
The contamination in the water, that is causing the problem. And that is what nationally there must be a concise effort to deal with, or else this can become something else for us.
And that is why we have asked that we stop Galamsey now. Others have also called for a state of emergency. But just this Friday, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama met the CSOs, he mentioned clearly that there's no cause to call for a state of emergency. But if he's told to call for that, he will do that immediately. And that's for now, they have all it takes to fight against Galamsey. They have the strength and everything, all the powers and everything to fight against Galamsey.
Now with the elephants in the room, state of emergency. You know, yes, I have the power to do it. But the president acts on the authority, not only on the authority, on the advice of the National Security Council. And as at now, this moment, the National Security Council believes that we can win the fight against Galamsey without a state of emergency. I want to assure you that the day they advise me otherwise, that boss, now we need a state of emergency, I will not hesitate in declaring a state of emergency. But we do still think that we have the powers to be able to win this fight. And as we deploy more troops and we apply more resources to the fight, I'm sure that gradually we'll begin to see that we're winning the fight.
Even just yesterday, lawyer TK Jimega stated it clearly that calling for the state of emergency is not a solution to stop Galamsey. According to him, there are so many things that the state of emergency can bring that would even be more than the Galamsey itself. It's literally like suspending our constitution. And so we should be patient and that they have all it takes, like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama stated.
Why do we need a state of emergency? What for? You have not told us what we need to do after the state of emergency. I'll give you a typical example. It happened in the Philippines. Their last president declared a state of emergency to fight drug menace.
Duterte?
Duterte. Yes. He's in Hague now on the fact that
for human rights abuses.
And when a state of emergency is declared, literally, our constitution is suspended. Literally. A lot of the rights you enjoy, you can't move, you can't do this. But tell us why you need a state of emergency to be declared. The president was very clear in his answer when he said, I will declare state of emergency, or I am supposed to declare state of emergency based on the advice of the National Security Council. As we stand now, they have not advised me to that. The day they will advise the president to declare the state of emergency, he said he will not waste even a second to do that. The president has so much power. We have NIMOS, the military group that is currently in the forest.
Task force.
It's a task force.
It's not a military group, headed by a military person.
Yes, headed by a colonel. And when they did their presentation last Friday, everybody was happy at the success they are achieving. And if you look at the presentation done on the stability, it was done on areas where NIMOS had worked. So the idea is, what if they scale their operation? We expect to see the improvement. And yesterday, when the minister met a number of people and trying to explain what is being done, in fact, you could see that a lot more progress has been done. Are you aware that for the last 8 years, no excavators were registered? And a lot of excavators were, over 1,200, we are told, were imported within the last 6 months into the country. Now, the law, as the president said, is that obtain permit before you import the excavators. Now they say, well, you have brought your excavator. Bring us the permit and we release the excavators to you. The excavators are there. Nobody is coming for them. Now it's even becoming a headache. What do you use the excavators for? Maybe drip, maybe to the district assemblies to use. So a lot more is being done. The regulatory framework is being tightened. Licenses are not being issued. You know the number of licenses that were issued within the transition period. So please, I'm not saying let's cut a bit of slack for them, for the minister and for the government. But I think that a lot more work is being done. We only need to communicate what is being done. Then the realities will be seen.
And so this week, we have seen the National Anti-Galamsey Operations Secretariat having operations on the Galamsey site. I mean, they've arrested some of these Galamseyers and a whole lot. But guess what? This week, the state of Galamsey is alarming.
Upon the reported devastation of this very railway line by the illegal small-scale miners within this catchment area, and I'm talking about a community called Achim, not far from Inswasreso, Bonsaso, the Western Regional Minister has actually made it here to see for himself the level of devastation that has actually been done to this very rail line. This very rail line was the same narrow gauge that was actually used by the Ghana Railway Company when it last hauled manganese from the Nsuta area where we've been transporting bauxite all the way to Takoradi Port. And today, if the railways decide to actually come back to haul manganese from Nsuta, this is a very line that they would actually have to use. But as we speak, it has very much been devastated by illegal small-scale miners who actually mine this area. If the cameraman can tend, they actually mine this area all the way to the rail line. And as we speak, the place has actually been gathered with water, as you can see. But currently, this is how dangerously it has become for anything heavy to actually go onto this. And this is what has gotten the attention of the Western Regional Minister, who today is here to see for himself. We'll just take a listen to what he has to say about what he has seen here today, and what is going to be done about it.
The state of Galamsey is really alarming. And like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama stated, we should keep up with the comments, the contribution, and all that. And so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that is what we are here for tonight. Because tell me why a railway that is made for train is now as a Galamsey site, about 3 kilometers condemned. all because of Galamsey. Today, I saw a video of a landlord giving his space or his house to Galamseyers, and just in that compound, I mean, I don't even understand. You know, previously, before we started this Stop Galamsey, personally, I wouldn't I wouldn't pay too much attention to this Galamsey because I feel I live in Accra or I'm not close to this Galamsey site, so it wouldn't affect me. But hey, water that is coming to Accra, water that is being supplied to the whole nation is getting contaminated. Our land is getting spoiled. Places where you can find this Galamsey sites are places where they grow crops and other things. And they bring the same crops to Accra and other places. And so do you even know where this food will get to the next minute? And so come on, if some years ago I wasn't paying attention to it, now the rate at which Galamsey is hitting us is getting too much. And like I said in our previous video, I'm wondering that who are those doing this Galamsey? Who are they? Where are they at all? Now, we have heard that Wontumi has been picked up again and has been released again. He says he pleaded not guilty. For me, this is how they are doing. They are going about with this Wontumi issue. I don't get it. I heard Miracles Abuaji saying that Wontumi is doing illegal mining. Now he's been picked up, and currently we still see people on Galamsey site and all that. Akunta mining is different from what we are hearing now. It's totally different.
I am glad that finally Chairman Wontumi is having his day in court. For me, I think that is how we should run our society. That anybody we find foul against the law, we should take the person to the court. Let the person go through the court system before we try to drag the person. You understand? And so Chairman Wontumi has a responsibility to prove to the entire country that he is not engaged in Galamsey. Because Akonta Mining, as we all know, is a licensed small-scale mining company. Is he engaged in Galamsey? Let the court determine that. But once again, Chairman Wontumi's prosecution and persecution actually brings up a very important point. That is, for the entire period the NDC were in opposition, they created an impression. You see, I don't know why the NDC, they keep boxing themselves into corners where nobody has asked them to. They have always created an impression as if Chairman Wontumi is the one doing Galamsey. So today, as Chairman Wontumi is in court, do you know what the expectation of Ghanaians are? We shouldn't see Galamsey going on.
And so if he's been picked up today, he's been picked up to help in the investigations. And so it won't me being picked up today doesn't mean that Galamsey is going to stop. It's high time we stop this, all those doing Galamsey. For me, looking at this whole thing, I feel these people are lacking education. It's simply that. It's just education that these people are lacking. Because tell me why you are doing Galamsey all in the name of getting money. When you get this money, what are you going to use it for? Won't you use it to buy food? Won't you use it to buy water? And this is the same water you are contaminating. This is the same food you are contaminating. And so once you get the money, where are you going to buy this food from? Or you travel outside? Hey, in fact, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you need to put up the more work. The work that you stated that you are putting it in to fight against this Galamsey. It needs to be more. Because it is getting too much. It is getting too much. Kidney issues, newborns having deformities and all that. We don't know how it is going to be next. And so if the state of emergency is not a solution, then I don't know if these people have to be educated, or I don't know if the arrest tool is not enough. Please, if you have any solution, please, let's put it together and easy and no point temper, because it's getting too much. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, please, we agree to it that you are doing all you can. Like you stated, anyone, whether government official or whoever, if you are involved in Galamsey, if Insawam is best for the person should just go the street. I'll see you in the next video.